My beloved child, in the sacred stillness of this moment, I come to reveal 3 words to you, 3 words that are not merely sounds or syllables, but keys that unlock a divine door. These words are not only meant for your eyes, but for your very soul, that you may be healed, restored, and see not just with physical sight, but with the light that comes from heaven. But before I speak them to you, let me first reach into the depths of your heart, the place where you have hidden your weariness, your unnamed tears, and the whispered prayers spoken in loneliness. I know exactly what you have walked through. I have seen the times you closed your eyes, not to rest, but because you didn't want to face the blurred reality before you. I understand the ache every time you open your eyes but still cannot clearly see the face of a loved one, cannot take in the beauty of creation, cannot walk freely without fear of stumbling. I see the isolation when it feels like life moves on without you, when what seems simple for others becomes a mountain for you to climb. You have tried, you have persevered, you have hoped, and still, your eyes remain silent before your pleading. But child, do not think that I have not heard. Do not believe your prayers have fallen into the void. Do not let delay convince you that the miracle is not coming. I am the one who sees before you see. I am the one who works in silence, preparing a wonder when you least expect it. And now, that miracle is drawing near. Healing is no longer distant. You do not need to fight for it with your own strength. You only need to be willing to believe. Believe that I, the one who formed your eyes, am the same, one who can restore them. My beloved, the 3 words I am about to speak to you are not a magical formula. They are seeds of life, and when you read them in faith, when you allow them to sink deep into your soul, you will begin to sense a shift, not only in your physical sight, but in your spirit. The 3 words are, light is coming. Yes, my child, I am coming, not with fanfare, not with thunder, but with gentleness, like morning dew settling on your weary eyelids. I come with healing, not a temporary relief, but a divine renewal. I come not only to let you see the light of the sun, but to see the light of hope. I come to open your eyes, both physical and spiritual, so that you will not only behold the world, but also perceive my presence in every moment. And when you declare these 3 words, I am coming, you are not simply stating a truth, but unlocking the door to heaven's power in your life. Whenever you doubt, whisper those words. When you are tired, remind your soul that I am on my way. And when you open your eyes each morning, let your heart awaken to this truth. Healing is on the way, no longer far off, no longer vague. It is coming because I have heard your cry. My child, do not compare my timing to yours. Do not let the unseen make you abandon what I have promised. Keep your heart tender. Let those 3 words become your lullaby on hard days, your guiding star through long nights. I am faithful, and when I say I am coming, no force in heaven or on earth can stop it. And when healing arrives, you will know, not just by what your eyes perceive, but by the joy that will awaken within you. You will understand that every prayer, every tear, every tiny hope was never wasted. They were invitations for me to move. And I, your Father, have responded because you are my beloved. And there is nothing I would not do to restore what belongs to you. So walk on in faith. My child, repeat those 3 words as a prophecy. I am coming. And then you will see clearer than ever that the miracle was never far, but always near, waiting for your heart to open wide. My precious one, I have watched you sit in silence, gently rubbing your tired eyes, trying to focus even as the images before you remain blurry, like mist that refuses to lift. I know the weariness that creeps into your soul each time you struggle to read a line, to recognize a loved one's face, to move through life as if looking through a fogged glass. I have seen the times you tried to pretend everything was fine, the moments you closed your eyes not out of peace, but because you were too weary to face the helplessness again. I have seen it all. And today, in my unconditional love for you, I come to speak a word full of power, a word that can shift what once seemed unmovable. You will not live in this haze forever. Your eyes will begin to see more clearly than ever before, not just a recovery of sight, but a profound transformation born from faith. My child, the healing I have prepared for you is not based on your ability or strength, but on my power and mercy. It does not come from desperate efforts or surface-level treatments. It flows from the source of life, me, the one who formed you, who knows every cell in your body, and who still whispers, I have not forgotten a single one of your prayers. That which once made you stumble, fatigue, blurriness, distraction will begin to fade, little by little, like shadows retreating before the sunrise. And as you enter this moment where I unveil heaven's truth, you will realize you stand at the intersection of miracle and faith. I do not make empty promises. I act. And now, I will reveal the three words as powerful as thunder across a silent sky, as radiant as a beam piercing the longest night. These words are not to be repeated mindlessly, but to be declared from your soul, aligning you with my will. They're like water flooding a dry desert, like fresh breath entering weary lungs. When you speak these words in faith, you are not trying to force heaven's hand. You are opening your heart to receive what has already been waiting to pour out. My beloved, miracles are never far from those who believe. My power is not confined by time or the limits of the human body. I do not move because you've earned it. I move because you are mine. And I love you. Your eyes are a sacred part of the destiny I've written for you, not only to see this world, but to recognize my fingerprints in every detail, to perceive the beauty in what seems ordinary, and to behold with the eyes of faith. When you speak these three words, truth will shatter delay, light will pierce through fog, and your eyes will begin to see not just with vision, but with spiritual clarity like never before. Do not doubt anymore. My child, do not let the days behind you convince you that the miracle is not yours. I have begun this good work, and I will bring it to completion. When you let go of the idea that you must earn it and simply say, Father, I believe, what once seemed impossible will begin to unfold. Listen, wait in trusting silence. Prepare your heart to receive something beyond what you dared to hope. Because with me, even the smallest spark of your faith can shake heaven. And now, my child, let me whisper these three words into your spirit, words carrying promise, life, and light. Light is coming. When you speak them, you align with my heavenly will. When you believe them, you grasp the key to a new chapter, and as you live with expectation, you will notice your eyes begin to change. Each ray of light will become clearer, each face more vivid, each page no longer a challenge. And above all, you will begin to see yourself just as I see you, loved, healed, and chosen to walk in light. You are no longer in darkness, because light is coming not just for your eyes, but for your entire life. My beloved child, There have been moments when you found yourself sitting at the crossroads of life, your heart confused, your mind clouded as if shrouded in a heavy fog, unsure of which direction to take, unable to understand what was truly happening around you. I know you have wrestled not only with physical sight, but with the turmoil in your soul, unresolved questions, indecisive choices, relationships that felt like veils preventing you from seeing clearly what is true or false, good or evil, right or wrong. You've tried to focus, to listen, to understand, but everything seemed to blur like smudged letters on an old page. And in that weariness, you may have thought I was silent. But no, my child, I have never turned away. I have always been there, watching each weary step you've taken. And today, I want you to know this: clarity is coming. Not the kind of clarity that comes from logic or human reasoning, but a clarity from heaven, like morning light piercing the dark of night. I am giving you a gift, clarity. Your eyes will begin to see again, not just your physical eyes, but the eyes of your spirit, a mind awakened, and a heart able to discern the things that once seemed hidden, the events you couldn't understand, the people you weren't sure whether to trust or avoid. All of these will start to become clear. No more guessing, no more confusion. Clarity will flow like fresh water into your weary soul, and you will no longer need to strain to understand everything, for I will make all things evident. My beloved, I do not do this so you may become proud or feel in control, but so that you may live lightly, in the right direction, and with deeper meaning. Your vision, not merely for seeing, but for navigating, for receiving the beauty of creation, and for recognizing my hand in every detail, will grow sharper. You will no longer see the world through the distorted lens of pain, fear, or bitter memory, but through the eyes of healing and gratitude, a fresh perspective, full of purpose, full of hope. You will see beauty in people you once doubted. You will see doors of hope where it once seemed everything was closed. You will recognize opportunities your eyes once overlooked. And you will perceive my love covering your life through even the smallest details. This transformation, my child, does not come from your strength or willpower. It is a gift, a grace from me. I give this not because you are deserving, but because I love you. That love goes beyond all your mistakes, beyond every limit you've ever placed on yourself. I want you to see, not just so that life becomes easier, but so that it becomes fuller. I want you to see the true beauty of life, to recognize the worth you carry, to witness the seeds I've planted in your heart begin to sprout and prepare to bloom. I want you to see truth, not the world's truth, but truth in my light. Hazy vision will no longer be your portion. It will be replaced with clear, sharp, and love-filled sight. You will no longer walk uncertainly, but with assurance. No longer make decisions in fear, but under divine guidance. No longer feel lost, but walk securely with every step, day by day. You will begin to see more clearly about others, about yourself, and about me. You will realize that what once confused you has now become the perfect piece in my good and loving plan. So, my child, do not fear change. Do not shut your heart when you begin to see things more clearly, even when that means facing truths you once tried to avoid. For I do not just shine light to expose, but I also give strength for you to walk in that truth. I am with you in every moment of awakening. In every time you open your eyes and discover something new about the world, your purpose, or yourself. All of it is drawing you closer to the fullness I have prepared for you. You no longer need to wander in the fog of doubt and confusion. I am clearing your eyes. I am expanding your vision. And I am doing it not for any lofty reason, but simply because I love you, because I want you to live and see this life not merely as a string of days to endure, but as a beautiful masterpiece painted by the hand of my grace. Open your heart and receive it, for clarity is coming, and it is my gift to you. From the depths of my heart, my beloved child, in every beat of time, even when you are unaware, I am working quietly in your life in a way no one but I could. The things your eyes have never seen, your ears have never heard, and your heart has never imagined, these very things are being prepared to be revealed in this sacred moment. I do not wait for you to be perfect, nor do I hold back until you are strong enough. I act because of my unconditional love for you, because you are mine, created by my own hands, destined to live in the fullness I designed for you from the very beginning. Every time you declare words of faith, whether whispered in silence or cried out in the night, you are opening the door to miracles. You are not merely speaking, you are partnering with me in a heavenly act, a union of earth and heaven, of human weakness and limitless power. And in that very moment of bold declaration, you are activating a wave of healing, not from yourself, but from my heart of love. Know this, the miracle is not in the perfection of your words, but in the faith placed in the one who does the impossible. That miracle, my child, is not something far off, it is unfolding now. In this very moment, I am inviting you, not just to wait in silence, but to speak boldly. Speak aloud the words I've placed in your spirit. Do not fear the smallness of your voice, for it is your faith that I seek. When you declare your belief in my healing power, you are giving me full permission to move in your life. You are making space in your soul for me to enter and transform, not just your thoughts or feelings, but your physical body, your tired eyes, your weary being. Speak, my child, not with doubt, not with hesitation, but with the simple trust of a child running to their father. Believe that when your lips declare the truth, my healing power is already touching your eyes. No more waiting. No need for outward signs. For sacred truth does not depend on feelings, but on the promise already spoken. I am moving, and your sight is being restored, not in a vague process, but in a powerful yet gentle, precise and loving operation. Every layer of fog that once blurred your vision, every moment of fatigue, every time you wondered why you couldn't see clearly, all of it is fading away. I am removing every obstacle, every cloud that has dimmed your perspective, and not just your sight, but your entire being is being restored. The way you see life, the way you view yourself, the way you perceive my plans for you. You will no longer live in uncertainty, in fear of missteps. You will walk with clear vision, with sharp insight, and with steadfast trust that I am walking with you. You will feel the shift, not as a fleeting flash, but as the steady glow of dawn rising, warm, unmistakable, unstoppable. Your eyes will begin to function as I designed them from the beginning, to see, to receive, to behold the beauty of creation, and most of all, to recognize me, the one who walks with you in every rhythm of life. The things that once confused you, that made you turn away in exhaustion, will now become reminders of my faithfulness. You will not only see, you will sense, through your eyes, your spirit, and your heart, That healing is happening with every second, every breath. Do you know, my child, I am still the one who sends fire from heaven. I am still the one who moves in the lives of those who are willing to believe and obey. But you must be the one to begin, not because I lack power, but because your faith is the door that unlocks the operation of heaven. When you act, even if it's just a small step, a simple prière, a quiet act of obedience, that is when you allow me to burn away the obstacles that have held you back for far too long. Walls that once seemed impenetrable will be torn down. Chains that once bound your future will be consumed by holy fire, and the light of truth will rise where darkness once reigned. Do not wait until you feel ready, because faith is not built on feelings. Faith is built on my word, and my word never returns void. When I call you to act, it means I have already prepared everything necessary for the miracle to take place. You do not act alone. You act with me, the one who upholds, empowers, and sustains your every step. Do not look to your circumstances to determine whether I will act. Look instead at your own heart. Are you walking in surrender and trust toward your Father? I know there are fears trying to hold you back. I know the enemy whispers lies in your ear that stepping out is dangerous, that obedience is foolish, that faith is futile. But my child, if Elijah had listened to the noise of the world, the miracle would never have come. If he had feared the hundreds who opposed him, the people would not have witnessed fire falling from heaven. In the same way, if you do not step out, there will be doors that never open, flames that never descend, and blessings I have prepared that remain delayed, not because I am powerless, but because I honor your freedom. I wait for your cooperation, your cry, your trust. So, my beloved, do not hesitate any longer. Call upon my name. Act in faith. Do what I have placed in your heart, even if it's small, even if it's simple, even if no one else understands, for if it comes from me, it carries the power to transform destinies. When you walk in the will of your Father, you will never walk alone. And when you act in faith, you will see me act in power. Fire from heaven is not a relic of the past. It is a present reality for you. Today, believe, step forward, and watch me consume every obstacle that stands between you and the destiny I have prepared. Because I love you, and because my glory longs to be revealed through your life. My precious child, there are blessings, healing, freedom, and restoration that I have already prepared for you, not far off in some vague future, but here and now, ready and waiting in the treasury of my grace. But to receive them, you cannot remain idle, like a passive observer waiting from a distance. You must act. You must believe that healing is real, personal, and meant for you, not just for the more spiritual, not just for the witnesses of the Bible, but for you, the one who is listening, the one who longs for transformation from the depths of your soul. Faith cannot remain as thought or speech. Living faith must move, and it is in the movement that you will see my power released. Imagine a thirsty person, knowing the water is just ahead, but only saying, "I believe there's water." Without stepping forward to drink, it will never satisfy their thirst. Likewise, you know that healing comes from me, but if you do not step forward to receive, if you do not reach out to take hold, it remains potential, not reality. I am inviting you to partner with me not because I am limited, but because I love you enough to include you in the journey of your own transformation. You are not a passive recipient waiting for a miracle to fall from the sky. You are an active participant walking with that miracle, activating it through obedience and trust. Begin with the simplest act, prayer. Not the kind of prayer that tries to change my mind, but the kind that changes your own heart, opening yourself, your thoughts, and your hope. In every prayer you lift to me, remember, you are speaking with a Father who loves you more than you even understand yourself. And then, do not stop at prayer with words. Let my word, the scriptures, soak into your soul and body. Speak aloud the healing promises I have preserved for generations, that by the stripes of my Son, you have been healed. Read not just to know, but to believe, to declare, to drive out every doubt that clouds your mind. Yet do not stop there. You must take practical steps, steps that show you are walking in agreement with what you believe. Care for your body, for it is the temple of the Holy Spirit. Rest when needed. Eat wisely. Move your body as an act of worship. And speak over yourself, you belong to the Lord. You will be well, for He is the healer. Every small action, when done in faith, is a step closer to complete healing. My child, when you act in alignment with my will, not out of desperation, but out of trust, you will begin to see healing unfold. It may not always come as a sudden change, but surely as a steady flow, clearer with each day, closer with each step. Sometimes it will be a lifting of the soul, sometimes a sign in the body, sometimes a release in tears when you realize I was never absent, and the miracle was never delayed. Do not let temporary silence make you doubt. Do not let present circumstances cause you to give up. Continue to act not to earn, but to respond to the call of love. Healing is not a reward for perfection, but a gift for trust. I do not love you more when you are strong, nor do I love you less when you are weak. But I rejoice when you trust me, when I see you take even small steps with great faith. For then, you will receive not only healing in body, but also discover true life, life ignited by trust and obedience. Act, my beloved. Step forward. Believe. And live as if what you prayed for has already been given. And then you will see clearer than ever that healing is not merely something you hope for, it is something you are walking into day by day. Because your Father is faithful and powerful. And I, yes, I, will complete the good work I have begun in you. My beloved child, there are things happening in your life that you cannot explain, cannot understand through logic, and cannot tie to any specific cause. Sometimes you wonder, did I do something wrong? Have I not obeyed enough? Is this pain my fault? But my child, not all pain is the result of wrongdoing, and not all suffering is the consequence of mistakes. There are moments when the affliction you bear is not a punishment, but the prelude to the wonder I am about to unfold. The miracle you are about to experience is not only to lift your burden, but to reveal my glory in the midst of the ordinary, among those watching you. And in a world desperate to see traces of me among humanity, remember the times I have touched your life, not because you were perfect, not because you got everything right, but simply because I love you. And because through you, I desire to reveal something greater than physical healing. You may not know it, but eyes are watching how you live through trials, how you hold on to faith in pain, how you still pray amid the unknown. Those eyes are searching for proof, for confirmation that I am alive, moving, and loving. And you, yes, you are the living letter I long to write to the world. Your healing is not just for your relief, but that those around you may see a glimpse of heaven touching earth. There are miracles I perform not to meet immediate needs, but to open a sacred door that no one can shut. Your healing, in the time I choose and the way I decide, will be an undeniable testimony that there is a Creator moving in this world, not distant, not cold, but near and full of mercy. You may think of yourself as just one among millions, but in my eyes, you are a precious part of heaven's grand design. And through each step you take, each tear you shed, each prayer you whisper, I am weaving a glorious tapestry that others may see and glorify me. My child, you may be in the process of waiting for healing, and at times you feel disappointed that there is no visible result. But understand this, not all miracles happen instantly, and not all delays are refusals. Sometimes, I let miracles bloom a little later, so that those around you can witness your faithfulness, your hope, your praise even on the days when no sign has yet appeared. For when the miracle comes, when all is made new, when you are restored, when you rise with a new light in your eyes, not only will you be transformed, but even those who doubted, withdrew, or wavered will say, surely this is the work of the Lord. Oh, and that, my child, is part of what I am doing, making your life a living testimony of my presence and power. I do not need a grand stage to display my glory sometimes. All I require is a quiet heart that remains faithful. No one truly knows what you've endured, but I do. No one sees all the tears you've silently swallowed, but I see them. And that is why the miracle I am about to perform in you will not merely be an answer to your prayers, but a declaration to both heaven and earth that your Father still does the impossible, still loves beyond comprehension, and is closer than ever before. Be still and trust. My beloved, don't seek logic in your circumstances. Seek truth in my word. Do not measure my love by what you've suffered, but recognize it through what I'm about to do, because I never allow pain to be without purpose. Your miracle, whether it happens in a moment or unfolds over time, is part of the greater story I am writing. And when others see you healed, restored, walking in the light, they won't praise you, but will look upward and say, how great is the one who has done this. So, my child, remain steadfast. Keep praying. Keep believing. Keep walking, not because you have something to prove, but because you know I have chosen you to reveal my glory. And the healing you are about to receive will be the final confirmation that nothing is too big for me, and no situation too small for me to care. I am with you, and through you, the world will know that I am the living God who still acts, now and forever. My beloved child, do you not realize that miracles were never far away, never locked in heaven like a mysterious, unreachable treasure? Miracles have always been near ready, alive, and waiting, but I do not impose them as rigid commands. I long for you to walk with me, to move in genuine communion with me, where your heart beats in harmony with my loving will. A miracle is not just a sudden supernatural event, it is the sweet result of a holy partnership between faith and obedience. I am the God of healing, of restoration, of renewal, and this is not a relic of the past, but the unchanging nature of who I am in every present moment. From the beginning, I have been the healer. When humanity fell, I did not retreat, but initiated the journey of redemption. When my people cried out in the wilderness, I sent manna from heaven. When the blind came to me in desperation, I not only opened their eyes but ignited their souls. When Moses stood before the Red Sea with no way out, I did not turn my face. I split the waters with my own power. But in every miracle, there was always one constant. I required a response. I needed a heart willing to believe, feet willing to move, a soul willing to obey. Miracles are not my solo performance. They are symphonies composed with you. The one I love, the one I've chosen. Therefore, my beloved, if today you are longing for a miracle, a healing for a weary body, a restoration for a wounded soul, a breakthrough in what seems like a dead end, know this: it is not beyond your reach. It does not depend on your worthiness, but on your willingness to walk by faith. Faith is not an emotional high, nor passive waiting. Faith is choosing to trust my word even when your eyes see nothing. Faith is acting on what I've spoken, even when everything seems to contradict it. Faith is saying yes to me, even while your heart still trembles. You must understand that miracles are real, but for them to become your reality, you must move. You must rise in spirit. Follow my lead. Lift your voice in prayer. Declare my promises, and apply my word as a living instrument. No one saw the sea part until Moses raised his staff. No one was healed unless the blind man stepped toward me. No fire fell from heaven until Elijah built the altar and prayed with courage. And likewise, you will not see healing if you simply wait in stillness without placing your trust in me and walking in my direction. I am not asking you to be strong or perfect. I only ask that you believe. I only need you to whisper, "Father, I don't know the way, but I know the one who leads." And when you say that with your whole heart, I will do the rest. I will turn what once seemed like a fairy tale into your living testimony. I will heal you, not just the pain in your body, but the unspoken wounds in your heart. I will restore you your dreams, your hope, everything you thought was forever lost. I will renew you, giving you new eyes to see life with heavenly hope, new feet to walk into the land I promised, and a new soul no longer burdened by the past, but filled with purpose and life. But you must move. You must act. You must rise. Even if you tremble, you must say yes, even without full clarity. You must choose to trust my word over what you see. And when you do, when you partner with me in simplicity and trust, the miracle will come, not as a random wonder, but as something divinely ordained, simply awaiting your open heart and faithful steps. Remember, my child, I am not the God of maybe, but the God of certainty. Healing is not a vague possibility. It is a steadfast promise. Restoration is not a prize for the few. It is an inheritance for you. Breakthrough is not a rare event. It is my way of moving in the lives of those who believe. And you, yes, you are the one I desire to move through today. So walk, my beloved, believe, and you will see that my miracles are not just relics of the past, but realities forming right now in your very life. Because I love you, because I chose you, and because I am the unchanging God yesterday, today, and forever. My beloved child, what I long for you to realize is not merely the greatness of miracles that have happened, but the unchanging nature of who I am, the one who can, the one who wills, and the one who is moving beyond every circumstance you face. Miracles are not bound by favorable conditions or perfect timing. They do not require agreement from your surroundings. They do not wait until you're strong, until everything is smooth or easy. Miracles happen in the very place where hope seems lost, in the very places no one dares to believe again. And that is what I want you to remember from the Red Sea, not as a distant memory, but as a living promise, a heavenly principle still echoing in your present moment. When my people stood before the sea, they had no way back. For behind them were enemies. They had no way forward. For before them was a vast ocean, and they had no power to fly or vanish. Every natural solution was closed. They were cornered where, to human eyes, death was the only outcome. But child, right there where groans replaced songs, where tears drowned hope, my hand began to move. I didn't need a bridge, a strategy, or a human plan. I only needed one heart daring to believe. One man willing to raise his hand at my word, and the waters parted. Dry ground appeared, and a way that never existed became the path of life for an entire people. My precious one, if you are facing a moment that feels like the end, remember the Red Sea. Remember that dead ends are not final conclusions when I am present. Whether you are dealing with pain in your body, unseen burdens in your mind, or crushing pressure upon your soul, you are never alone. I have never stood still when you cried out. I have never ignored a sincere tear, a broken sigh, or a faint but honest prayer. No situation is too hopeless for me to intervene. No mess is too tangled for me to unravel and restore. I am the one who makes a way in the wilderness, who carves rivers through deserts, who splits the sea for the children who trust in me. You may not yet see the way. Everything around you may feel like it's pulling you under. But child, what you see is not my limit. I am not bound by difficulty, size of problem, or length of time. I am not shaped by circumstances, for I am the one who redefines them. I can make a way where nothing exists, not merely an escape, but a glorious path that leads you to a promised land, far beyond what you ever asked or imagined. I do not only part the sea to deliver you, I close it behind you to bury the past, the enemy, and all that once threatened your life and peace. So, my beloved, when what's in front of you looks like an impossible ocean, do not let fear drown your faith. When no visible way remains, remember, I am not limited by what can be seen. When every door seems shut, lift your eyes and declare, Lord, I believe. And in that very moment when you stand on the edge between faith and despair, I will move. Not with the little that you have, but with all the power I am ready to pour out because I love you. You don't need to create the miracle yourself. You only need to believe that I will do it. You don't need to see the path clearly before you begin walking. You only need to hear my voice. Obey, and take a step in faith, and the rest I will do. And then, not long from now, you will look back and say, it was right where I thought my life would end that you, Father, opened up a brand new beginning. For I am the one who is not limited, not delayed, and never forgets those who trust in me. You belong to me, and if I could part the sea, I can surely divide every hardship that stands in front of you today. For I am the God of miracles, unchanging yesterday, today, and forever, and I am your Father, my beloved child. I want you to engrave this unchanging truth deep within you. I am the God of miracles, not just sometimes, not only in an era long gone, not reserved for a few special ones in Scripture, but me right now alive, active, and ready to work in your very life. Miracles are not relics of the past, nor are they so distant that you must stretch in desperation to reach them. They are the living presence of my power in your reality. They are the answers to the prayers you whispered in the darkness, the reply from heaven to every silent tear you have ever swallowed. You do not have to wait until you are strong enough, holy enough, or persistent enough to deserve them, for it is my love that forms the foundation of every wonder you are hoping for. Trust in me, my child, not with your intellect alone, but with your whole heart, with full surrender to the truth that I am good, that I never make a promise I won't fulfill, that I never withdraw my hand when you place your trust in me, and when you put your faith in me. You will witness something extraordinary. All the limitations you once knew will begin to fade. You will see my power move, not according to your plans, not according to your assumptions, but in ways far beyond what you ever dared imagine. I am not bound by logic, time, or circumstance, for I am the Creator, the one who made time, who ordered the universe, and who can break every mold to make something new for you. Remember this, my beloved, I do not change. What I have done, I can still do, and I will continue to do. I healed the blind with mud and spit. I caused the lame to walk, the dead to rise, the sea to split, and the loaves to multiply. None of these things are in the past for me, for my nature is not a memory, but a living force. I have done, I am doing, and I will yet do. Do not believe the whispers of the enemy that say the age of miracles has ended, or that healing is uncertain. For I say to you today, your healing is not out of reach. It is not locked away in heaven. It does not demand perfection from you. It only asks that you believe. My child, the healing you long for is not impossible. Nothing is impossible for me. I formed you from dust and breath. Would I not be able to restore an organ, a cell, or a weakening part of your body? I spoke the entire world into existence. Would I not be able to utter one word and cause new life to flow into your being? But you must believe, not with fleeting emotion, but with deep resolve that even if nothing seems to change yet, you still choose to place your hand in mine. And that faith, my beloved, is the key that opens the door for miracles to be revealed. But don't just believe with words. Act in faith. Live as if what you've been praying for has already begun. Give thanks as if the miracle is already finished. Walk each day, not with weary feet, but with a hopeful heart, knowing that I am working, even when you do not yet feel it clearly. When you act in faith, you declare to both heaven and earth that you believe in the living one, not in fleeting circumstances. And it is in that moment that you will begin to see what once seemed immovable begins to shift. What once seemed barren begins to bloom. What once seemed like an end becomes a sacred new beginning. The miracle you've been waiting for is not far off. It is forming with each step you take, each word you speak, each breath you lift in faith. Do not let delay cause you to doubt. Do not let fatigue make you turn back. I am at work silently but surely. I am preparing everything, not just the healing, but your heart, so it will be strong enough to hold what I am giving. For the greatest miracle is not only what I give, but who you become in order to live it out, to share it with others, and to testify of me in the most powerful and vibrant way. So, my beloved, hesitate no longer. Believe, trust, act, and then you will witness the miracle unfold, not just as a moment of wonder, but as a journey filled with power and love. I am your Father. I am the God of miracles, and I am ready to act today in your very life. Amen. As a child of God, He is with you in every moment, constantly reminding you to walk in faith and live in the light of His love. Make sure to follow and turn on notifications so you won't miss any word I speak from heaven. Amen.